All right, starting another project here. We are going to be tearing out this wall right here and replacing it with Versalock standards. Doing a double tier, which is kind of like it is. And then there's another wall over here that we're going to be redoing.
Look at those footings. Look at those footings.
In the same fashion.
The deck footings. Look at the deck footings.
And thinking it's going to be some wetter soils out here.
Yep.
What gives me that indication is
This is good.
there's a pond back here. I don't know if you can see that or not. There it is. Nice pond. And this is the lowest house on the block.
I hope he points out the deck.
Tells me we're
footings.
going to be dealing with some water in the water table.
Yep.
Heights
Yep.
here. And another indicator is these footings right here for the deck.
Yes.
You can tell that there's water getting under here, popping these up. And the reason I can tell that those aren't at the proper level is you look at the deck from this angle. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's a pitch
Yes.
going back towards the house where the deck's getting lifted up. So we got down in here, we're gonna do some French drain systems to try to help dry it out, hook up gutters to drain boxes, and get it out farther from the house. Well, I had a little turn of unfortunate events here. Track popped off of our Daewoo here.
Right away. Right out of the gate.
It's another day. Looks like it's a little bit too far gone to be able to pop this back on the easy way. So looks like we gotta put it on the hard way. All right, so step one of the process here to get this track back on. I don't know if you can see in there, there's not really good light, but there is a nut right here. I don't know if I can show you.
Grease zerk. He's got to release the pressure so that the track can shrink
I
up.
can't see nothing in there.
And
You loosen that and it relieves the pressure on the grease, so that you can push this thing right here back to allow room for the track to pop back on. A little bit of a process, slows your day down a little bit, but it happens.
so he pushes it in with the cat. We actually have a new tool we're going to be testing out to put these on.
That back. Now it should give us some extra room to pop the track on. Looking at the situation here, we're going to have Alex drive it forward so we can try to line the track up on the back side there, and then I'm going to try to push over on the front side. I don't know if it'll grab or not here.
So he's got to get both sides to line up. We're gonna be testing out a new track tool. There's a tool us and Andrew Camerati, I think, are getting it.
So once you grab this, I can get through.
You know, these guys are actually lucky. Half the time this happens, you're on the side of a hill. And the Daewoo likes to pop tracks. I don't know why. It's just an older machine. But these guys, we barely got this job started and this happened. It's just luck of the draw, but it's actually good luck. I mean, if you're gonna have bad luck, this is the best kind of bad luck you can have. Wide open spaces, easy to get at. So Tim's gonna try to lift that up and over. He's putting pressure. Yep, right there. He's got it. Yep. I feel like I'm out there right now. I'm like, oh. There we go. Oh. Yep. Go to the front. Go to the front. He's gonna go to the, I'd say go to the front and maneuver it back on. Let's see what he does. Yeah.
Tighten that back up and start pumping grease into it.
Why did we not get to
Explain a
see
little bit
that?
of what's going
Danny,
on here.
the editor.
Yep, there it's going. All right.
Sorry, guys.
So,
I'd like to see that. Tell me if you guys want to see
but
that.
this is the piece that's broken where you got to add the grease to the tensioner. It popped right out of there, stripped out. Unfortunately, you can't just buy that. You got to buy the whole nut and everything here. So I guess it needs to withstand like 10,000 psi. So the guy was saying that there's to try to find just the grease circuit that does that. It's not so easy. Alex is putting the main
Alex is pretty mechanically inclined.
main piece in
Him
here.
and Tim, kind of. I mean, if they're on a scene and there's tools,
And then we're gonna put
you just
this
let
on.
them have at it.
You wonder where a day goes, huh, man? God, I feel like we didn't get nothing done today.
Yeah, definitely.
Work all day long.
All right, get some grease gun surgery.
Oh.
All the grease somehow shot around the plunger and filled up the tube, and kind of a mess.
Wow. One thing after another.
Try this again.
Grease gun surgery.
So Alex has
Oh.
everything tightened down in here. Got to get on the greaser.
So he's gonna put the grease zerk on,
Track back up.
and then that'll stretch that track out and get it back on.
This might have been the whole problem in the first place. If it's slowly leaking out of here and then your track obviously loses
Yep.
tension.
Yep.
Could have been worse. This whole thing could have been, who knows what they charge for, kind of charge
Is it
with.
expensive?
No, like 16 bucks.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
So that's not bad.
I mean,
Sometimes they show you this part and then they're like, that'll be 75 or 100 bucks for that little thing, you know?
yes. Oh,
I don't want to over tighten it, but I'm not
or
getting it to come around.
you only
here.
need the piece,
yeah.
but you gotta buy this
So
much,
We got it to a point now.
and this much costs you like
that,
300 bucks.
We're gonna lift the track off the ground so we can measure from the bottom to the track to match the distance on the other side. So right now we're just gonna measure the other side. I don't know exactly what it's supposed to be, so we'll just kind of match it to the other side for now. That way we'll be safe that way and we don't over tighten the track.
Smart. Technical Timmy.
Let's see what's
Technical Timmy.
We'll shoot this as
Who,
like the
who
middle right here,
else
measure
would
from the
do
bottom
this?
to the bottom part of the track.
I'd be like,
to the metal.
man, that looks about right. Nope. We're gonna take that tape measure out. We're gonna find the midpoint. We're gonna go from that point over. Now we haven't gotten next to nothing done on this job. I mean, this was just like, boom, show up, break down. What a good impression that makes, huh? But it happens. It happens. It can happen to anybody. What are we looking at, Danny, the editor?
2 inches.
I'm talking to the editor. You guys got a new editor. He's actually busting butt.
Right? No real sags in it, not too bad. So
But maybe not on this one.
if I remember right, I think it was on
You guys tell me what you think. I don't know. It's a slower paced video. It's interesting. I don't mind having a little bit more. I like them a little faster, but this is slower.
I can just see it right now. We're not close.
Some guys like them slower.
Alright,
You
so
tell
we're
me.
getting
Do you like
close,
these
huh?
slower paced videos? Hey, good question. Do you like this? Slower paced, faster paced. Bolder time lapse, faster paced.
So just keep an eye
This
on
one,
it.
slower
Know what to
pace.
do for,
What do you like?
you know, but you never want to like over tighten them. You know,
Yeah.
Would you like me to shut up when Tim's talking?
it's hard on the tracks. Well, that was 2 hours or whatever, wasn't it? About that. Yeah. Got her back in business.
Oh, here we go. 9 minutes into the video, now we got some action. Nah, that's fine. It's literally the way the day went. So it looks like we're starting on the far side.
All right. These walls are in a state of failure, leaning forward. And here's one of the reasons why, is they used zero backfill behind them as far as drainage rock. There's no drainage rock in these walls. And they have the first layer of block that you see, and then there's another layer of block for some reason stuck behind it. So it's a good reason why they're failing.
I'd be interested to know, actually it's an advanced building technique to hitch one block to another block, but that's very few people know about that.
All right,
Can't imagine
made
that
it down to the
happening
base.
here.
Quite a ways down in there, which is fine. We can build it up with rock because it is wetter soils. A little thicker base won't hurt.
Yep.
But another thing I notice here is there's no base aggregate. There's nothing. It was based on sand and backfilled with dirt with no drainage. So it's a good reason why the wall failed.
How typical, you guys. I mean, we see it all too often. Building a good wall is easy. It's just these certain steps, and we've covered them in other videos. But I was talking about that hitch and that advanced wall technique where you have one wall, and then behind it, you actually turn the blocks backwards and you hook the tails together.
All right, well, since nothing ever
But that's
goes
not what happened
smooth in
here.
the way you want it to, we excavated out for our wall, and we knew this area would be wet, but sounds to me like many years back they had a drain sump system put in and running way out to the backyard. Cannot find where it exits. There was a little bit of foam over these pipes right here, and I wanted to put a new piece of foam over it, and I popped off a little bit of the foam so I could square it up and realized that these pipes aren't even connected here. This is right where our retaining wall is going to go. Yeah, this might have to see try to figure out where the water's going at this point. All right, this is Zach. Say hi,
New
Zach.
guy.
He's the new guy. Gonna be helping us out here.
Hired him off Instagram.
Last time we were talking, this was just a not connected to anything. There was 2 drain tiles going into one, no connection. Sorry this wasn't on camera. Alex said he forgot to hook it up, but we did a little French drain system for this to tie into. There's a Y now on these pipes. And then once he started digging this out, we had a camera guy come out here and run camera up these 2 tubes here. This one was dry, wasn't doing anything, and this other one right here was closest to the house, was full of water. Couldn't see. And then the sump pump that's on the inside of the house, there's no outlet for it, so that was nice. He ran a camera in there, couldn't find it. And then the drain tile that was, the 2 were going into one, was going out. You got 10 feet root ball, another 10 feet root ball, and then full of dirt, so it wasn't doing anything. So these people were having water just sitting in here. So
That's why their deck went up and down.
now we got a little French drain system. We're going to connect this up later, but you can see how much water. Alex said this was a foot deep on Saturday, but now it's about an inch. So it's percolating into the ground, and we're moving water out of here now, and we're going to get started on our wall.
Technical
So,
Timmy.
that's it.
That's technical Timmy for you. We had to hire a camera person to come in to scope all of those pipes out. Man, look at, so you see he's putting grid in the base. You see that? That's because that grid acts as a big snowshoe.
Oh, we decided to put drain box in here now. New guy's recommendations. I say I agree. Drain box has got to go right in here eventually, and with our base being in this area and everything kind of starting out here, we're gonna have to put one in now.
Yeah, for sure. So we're in Minnesota, and we can't hard pipe the drain box in from the downspout. We've got to leave an air void, and what that air void does is it allows for freeze and thaw. If we hard pipe it, it could back up, and the whole system could freeze going all the way up the house, tear the entire downspout off, actually can rip the gutters and downspout right out. That base has that geogrid in it, and that geogrid, what that does by adding that in when you got real wet, spongy soils, it now acts, the entire base kind of connects everything together, giving it a bigger footprint, which allows for the area kind of to float more. Now these deck footings, so when I came out and seen this with Tim, I was looking at it, these deck footings are actually pumping up. Some of them are up 4 or 5 inches. So then I asked the customer if I could go in and take a look around the house, because we did a very similar job where the actual corner of the house started to fall off. These guys, lucky, absolutely 0 damage. But now we got that French drain in. We're gonna get that water to go back. I'm gonna say we should probably do something in that backyard, depending on how the spring goes, winter freeze-thaw cycle, and how in the spring everything goes. But anyway, that's a lot of talking. Sorry guys, but I had all that built up. Alex is getting the basing down pretty good. Blaine brought him out to a few different sites. We taught him, and this is his first solo wall project. So he's fully responsible for all of it. And that's where we got. This was pretty much the start of this job, but we're going to be continuing this one on. Slower fast. This was definitely a slower start in the video. I don't know if you guys don't mind that, man. We can kind of draw you in, do a few things, but you tell me what you think. And then it was almost like a faster pace on the back end of the video. So you guys, you know, there we go. We got that slower or faster. You guys tell me. That's all we got for today. God bless you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And we will see you on Friday, which is going to be huge. I think the video that I can release on Friday is going to be amazing. I gotta find out if I can release it or not. It's actually going through legal review. Not joking. Twice it's gone through legal review. A team of attorneys. I'm not joking on this one. If I can release it though, it's so cool. That's it. God bless. Go get them. See you guys.